Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. Today we're going to talk to Jim, who is in a Tiger Motorhome built on an Astro chassis, and that's really rare to find, but a wonderful, wonderful rig. So, Jim, why don't we start by finding out how were you able to find this? There are not many of them around.
I was looking for a Toyota motorhome, and I saw this in Craigslist. And after I found it, I was glad I didn't find the Toyota.
And so you just went and bought it because they came up. And how many of the, do you have any idea how many of them they made?
They probably made 400.
400.
They're still building them.
Oh, Tiger, yes, but not the Astro because
Not on the Astro chassis.
yeah. And so tell us a little bit about Tiger because they still are in business.
They started building these in 1986 on the Astro chassis, and they put the motorhome on a variety of different chassis: pickup trucks and full-size Ford van. I've seen it on a lot of different things besides the Astro. The Astro seems to be the most popular of the chassis.
Sure, you get the good gas mileage.
They built that until 2005 when they stopped building Astro vans. Today they put them mostly on full-size Ford, Chevy, and Dodge pickups.
Right. Would you describe this as a real small Class C?
Technically it's a van conversion because it started off life as a cargo van.
Uh-huh.
When somebody ordered one of these, somebody would go to the Chevy dealer and buy a cargo van and drive it back. Then they'd cut the top, the back off and the top and install a motorhome.
And so what were you were looking for a Toyota and ended up with this one instead because you found it. Why were you thinking? Why were you looking for those?
I wanted something small, and there's just not a lot available that's small.
Yes.
I wanted a single parking space kind of vehicle.
You wanted to be able to drive it around town comfortably.
Yeah.
Yes. And toll roads?
I avoid toll roads anytime I can.
Right, but if you're stuck on one, it's going to be a lot cheaper than a big Class C or whatever.
Probably.
Yeah. And the gas mileage, I would think the low top, the lightweight.
About 18.
Wow.
I should be able to get 20 out of it, but I don't drive it carefully. I drive fast.
Yeah, if you have a Class C with a very comfortable home, you're getting 18 miles to the gallon out of. That's a winner.
And you're in the right lane going 55, scared you're going to have to stop and everything's going to shift. And
Right.
this is an Astro van.
Right.
You get in the turns above Monterey, this thing takes the turns. Where some of the larger motorhomes have to do a 3-point turn to get around some of those.
Right. And the low top and just everything about it makes them a very pleasant driving experience.
Absolutely.
And have you found it comfortable?
I love it. I've lived in this thing for months at a time.
So you have a home.
I live on a boat.
Oh, you live on a boat.
I have a diesel trawler.
Uh-huh.
So that's home base. And actually it's the interior of the boat very much like the interior in this.
There's a lot of similarity boating and RVing.
Very similar.
Yeah. And the great gas mileage. So how much are you traveling a year in it, roughly? Changes probably all the time.
Well, let's see, I bought it in 2010 and I probably put 70,000 miles on it, so
10,000 a year.
yeah, 10,000 a year.
As an average.
Some years it sits and some years I go to Alaska.
And are you? Is your boat moored, or are you traveling it?
But it's in Los Angeles Harbor, and during the summer I'll go anchor in Catalina Island and spend 6 or 7 weeks on the hook at anchor, and then that's pretty much about as far as I go.
So it's more of a home that you kind of like an RV that you move around in a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just great. What a great experience. And you obviously love living in your boat.
It works.
It works. But it's unique. It's wonderful in its own way.
And if you don't like the neighbors, you can move.
That's the thing. Turn the key.
Yeah.
Or raise the sail or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And no regrets on these?
Oh, no.
And to find one, you just have to be patient and study Craigslist.
Yes. There's a Yahoo Tiger owners group, and we had a rally in Camp Hale, Colorado last summer. There were 44 of these things showed up, and there were 4 people looking for them that showed up also. So there's a market for them.
Oh yes. A lot of people aren't aware of them. I happen to be, but when you see them, they grab your eye. You probably get that a lot. Stopped?
I do. They don't try to sell them. They don't take the new ones to RV shows. We that show down at the Big Tent, you're not going to see a Tiger down there.
No.
Don't know why not.
My guess is they can't make them fast enough.
Maybe.
I have a series of videos coming out about small trailers, and most of them are they just can't make them fast enough, so they don't really promote them. And so, how long is this?
16 feet.
16 feet. That's really nice.
Fits in a compact car space in front of the grocery store.
Wow, nice. Jim, would you mind showing us around your nice little home?
Sure. There's a flush toilet and a usable shower.
And do you use it?
I took a shower last night.
All right, that settles that.
It's also the closet, so when you use the shower, you have to evict the sweatshirts, but that's good. There's a 165 watt solar panel on the roof. There is the controller in the back there and the inverter.
Mm-hmm.
And I can run my microwave off of the single Group 27 house battery.
Mm-hmm. And storage under the rest, I'm assuming?
Storage underneath the couch.
Mm-hmm. Always?
Always. And then there's this cabinet here. Usually when I show up, the first thing I do is take these containers out and put them up here because that's where the food is and I don't have to bend over to get anything.
Mm-hmm.
There's more containers back there. There's a 15-inch TV, which I never go any place that has any TV reception.
That's always the problem.
Well, it's not necessarily a problem. It's kind of nice.
It's kind of nice, yes.
But there's a bracket on the door here for that.
Uh-huh.
And it's a living room.
And, okay. So, very comfortable. You lounge and spend time in here, very pleasant.
Correct.
Plenty of space, headroom.
For me. There's a fantastic fan, and then over the bunk there's a vent, so like you can blow air out and it sucks air in on that forward vent, so it makes a nice cool airflow on that overhead bed.
These things excel in the summer.
These open up also.
Right.
There's a window that opens.
And it would go, any breeze at all would just blow right through here.
Correct.
And how about in the winter? Then they're losing a lot of heat.
These sides are made out of the same material that they make pop-up camper sides out of.
Right.
So it's got some insulation to it. And I have a good heater. There's a just a standard RV type heater.
Mm-hmm.
And I use it.
And that keeps you comfortable. Well, you don't go where it's cold.
I do. I've been to Alaska 4 times. I've been all over British Columbia and Yellowknife and Alberta.
But you're not going in the winter.
Well, yeah.
Spring, fall?
Spring, fall.
Which can be cold.
Which can be cold.
In that far north.
It's been cold.
Yeah.
But the amount of air inside of this is so small and that heater is so big that it clicks on and then it clicks right back off again.
Okay. So you haven't found cold to be an issue because of the pop-up?
No. I've always thought if I was in some kind of a big storm I'd leave the top down, but it's never happened.
Never happened.
Even I was at a storm in Yosemite last winter and it was fine.
Wow. Good. That would be my one big concern, and apparently it's not.
Nope.
Hasn't been for you. Okay, and so you have a nice little kitchen.
Very usable kitchen, 3-burner range, which I don't know what you'd use 3 burners for.
Yeah, have to be a family.
The microwave runs off the solar panel.
It will run off the 165.
It will.
It will.
It's a 600 watt microwave, 700 watt microwave.
Mm-hmm.
Just a standard RV refrigerator, 3-way.
Runs off propane.
Propane, electric, 110 or 12 volt. I use it on 12 volt when I'm driving and 12 volt when I'm parked.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the container store is a wonderful place. They have these containers that just exactly fit everywhere.
Whatever the spot, you got a container for it.
Yes. double sink,
That's very nice.
and the cutting board, so I really have enough counter space.
Yes. And you're using the tanks. You're using the gray and the black, and just dumping them when you need to.
Absolutely. 22 gallons of water.
Which is quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
If you're frugal.
That's the kind of specs you'd find in a 24-foot motorhome.
It is.
And the holding tank, I don't know how big it is, but I've never come close to filling it.
Good. Really nice. And you must sleep up over the cab.
Correct. And it took me a couple of years to find out that I could close the top with the bed made up, even with a foam mattress pad. So I just evict the pillows and it closes right up.
So it's no big deal to move camp.
No.
And must have hydraulic arms that help.
I installed 2 last summer on the aft end here after that Tiger Motorhome rally because it was the thing to do. Everybody was doing it. And I have the solar panel that adds about 35 pounds to the aft end. So I put 2 on the back, and then I put 2 on the front, and I took them back off because you really don't need them. The hinges on this thing have a mechanical advantage that raising and lowering the top isn't a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give you a tiny demonstration on that, I suppose.
Okay, yeah.
Door has to be open, so if I had the pillows off, of course, it would close. You can't raise the top without the door being open.
Very nice. No big deal. That was just easy one-handed.
There's 200 number 10 fine thread screws that hold the canvas to the roof. The roof is a cap that fits over the top, so it's not going to leak. But those screws tended to leak, and that forward hinge assembly had a little bit of rot in it from the screws leaking. So I covered the top on my first Alaska trip with a Turnabond.
Mm-hmm.
And that Turnabond just stopped all the leaks. And then you notice that forward hinge assembly is aluminum.
Mm-hmm.
Last summer I had to rebuild it because the wood was just made out of this cheap paneling. And I thought that was going to be a project that was going to be difficult, but it turned out to be easy.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way things always are.
Yeah. The thought of it's worse than the doing, generally.
Yes. The procrastination is part of it.
Yes. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
So you've just made it into a great little home. And
I really haven't done much to it.
yeah. Yeah, they come from the factory ready to live in.
Yep. And if you can buy a brand new one for $85,000.
Yeah, exactly.
That video is on the website, tigermotorhomes.com.
About about the advantages in buying one.
The showing off the new one with they have a roof air and I think they have a generator. Mm. This thing has no generator, and I'm glad it doesn't.
Right. So you're pretty much a minimalist as well. Of course, you're not living in it, but you travel for months at a time, so you're kind of a minimalist. This
is absolutely minimalism, except it's minimalism with all the stuff.
Right, everything you want.
You just can't bring too many jackets with you.
Right, right. So folks, if you got anything out of this, I hope you did. You're inspired, you're motivated. You can live in a tiny space and get 18 miles to the gallon. If you'll like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you later.